In Luke 19, Jesus has an encounter that changes the life of a tax collector called Zacchaeus. And as I reflect on this encounter, it strikes me that Zacchaeus probably represents lots of us. His life seems to start off well. I don't know when, but then it sort of falls apart. The expected growth spurt doesn't come. The early friendships sour through bitterness, maybe coming second in a test and then only top 10. Finally, he's doing the bare minimum to make it through. Making bad decisions, seeking lost popularity. Zacchaeus is not loving life, and then someone taps him on the shoulder. You can get rich by collecting taxes for the Romans. Well, Zacchaeus makes some money, but it doesn't scratch the itch. So he goes back to make some more. And he's abusing his position, he's abusing his people, and ultimately he's abusing himself in the search of the money which will make the pain go away. He's spiraling and he has no idea what to do. But God doesn't abandon Zacchaeus, and God doesn't abandon us when we find ourselves in that same situation. God never pushed him away, and now God is going to run to meet Zacchaeus with open arms. Zacchaeus heard of this guy, Jesus, and he's just healed a blind guy down the road. And then there's something about Jesus. Zacchaeus doesn't know what, but Jesus is coming to town. And Zacchaeus wants to see for himself if there's any hope for someone like him. You see, Zacchaeus is too broken, too hopeless to look inside himself anymore. He's done. And there's no shame left when he vaults up the tree to get a look at Jesus over these crowds who are rejecting him yet again, even as they're focused on this man who is some kind of sensation. And as the parade passes by, Jesus stops. Out of the thousands in Jericho, Jesus calls Zacchaeus, drawing attention to his ridiculous position in the tree, his absurd social status, drawing attention to his brokenness. But in the same breath, Jesus is identifying with Zacchaeus. Jesus is sharing his social status. Jesus embraces Zacchaeus in his brokenness. And by going to his house, Jesus becomes Zacchaeus, so that in some sense, Zacchaeus might become as he is. Jesus takes on Zacchaeus' sin, so Zacchaeus might take on his righteousness. And so now, in giving back the money that he stole, as you know the story goes on, Zacchaeus becomes part of the solution instead of part of the problem. And Zacchaeus is suddenly living for others and not just for himself. And so Zacchaeus has been restored, not exactly to the cute baby that he was maybe 35 years ago, but he's been restored to the dream that God had for him from the very beginning. May I offer you this reflection? If you sense that God has a dream for your life that is bigger than what you are living in right now, then stop. Throw away your shame and climb into the place that you know you'll find Jesus. You will probably look foolish, but he will join you. And by the power of his Spirit, you will become part of the solution in your world. And there is no greater thrill than to discover God's dream for you.